The movie begins with Haruka going to her shoe locker, only to find her shoes missing. Mitsuru asks her why she hasn't gone home. Haruka quietly replies that she's waiting for someone. He leaves and she puts on her school slippers and starts walking home. Before she gets far, she's stopped by a group of classmates who reveal they stole her shoes. They throw them into a muddy ditch, laughing as they mock her. Desperate to get them back, Haruka climbs into the ditch and ends up covered in mud. The bullies tell her to go back to Tokyo and accuse her of stealing Mitsuru away from Taeko, the ringleader. However, Taeko coldly dismisses the accusation, insisting she doesn't care about Mitsuru at all. Satisfied, the group leaves Haruka stranded in the mud. Humiliated, Haruka continues the long walk home, where she runs into her mother and younger sister. Her sister is devastated after seeing Haruka's condition and breaks down in tears. Furious, Haruka's father reports the bullying to her homeroom teacher, hoping the school will finally take action. But with the school already understaffed and scheduled to close in just a few months, the teachers choose to ignore the situation rather than deal with it. Haruka returns to class and finds cruel insults and graffiti covering her desk. Haruka's father gets bullied by the students, and Haruka finds a dead crow inside her desk. One of the bullies tells the teacher, but she ignores it all. Mitsuru tries to stand up for Haruka, but it ends up being futile, as the teacher ignores him and throws up. Haruka's parents apologize to her and tell her to not go to school anymore. She must only go on graduation day. She agrees. 3 days later, the bullies instruct Rumi to make sure that Haruka comes back to school, or she'll become a target again. Rumi complies and goes to Haruka's house. She borrows a CD, takes a picture of Haruka, and asks her to come to school again, but Haruka refuses. Rumi becomes the target and starts getting bullied again. Meanwhile, Haruka is walking with her sister when they see Mitsuru taking pictures of a Liverleaf. He talks about how he transferred and takes a picture of the sisters. Taeko cuts Rumi's hair, and Rumi says that she wants to kill Haruka. Shoko gives Haruka a necklace before she leaves with Mitsuru. They end up holding hands and taking pictures. Later at night, Haruka and Mitsuru are walking home when they notice 2 bullies coming from the direction of her house. They rush over only to find it completely engulfed in flames. Haruka desperately tries to save her family, but Mitsuru holds her back and runs into the burning house himself. He manages to rescue Haruka's younger sister, but both of Haruka's parents die in the fire, and her sister is left horrifically burned and fighting for her life in the hospital. Haruka's entire world is destroyed in a single night. Taeko's dream of going to beauty school is crushed when her father refuses to let her go to Tokyo. Tachibana's father is revealed to be an alcoholic who forces his daughter to buy him alcohol late at night, and Rumi is obsessed with Taeko. The next day, Haruka returns to school. Mitsuru tries to comfort her, but she loses her voice. Haruka tries to talk to the bullies, but they mock her and leave. Tachibana worries Haruka might expose them, and decides to eliminate her before that can happen. She lures Haruka to a garbage pit behind the school with 2 accomplices, intending to kill her. Instead, Haruka fights back, killing her before turning on the others. 2 more students die trying to escape, leaving their bodies buried beneath the snow. In class, Kuga and the others wonder where the 3 bully girls are, and the police come to investigate. Kuga leaves and walks home. While walking, he notices Haruka and taunts her, but she stabs him and slashes his cheek, leading to his death. Haruka's grandpa intends to take her and her sister to Tokyo after she graduates. Seeing their friends disappearing, Dumb and Dumber plan to kill Haruka first, before she comes for them. Dumb shoots an arrow at her, but misses, giving a chance to escape, leaving her umbrella. Dumber simps for Haruka, while Dumb brags and taunts her about killing her father with his bow. Dumber tackles her and tries to kiss her, but she rejects him, and like an incel, he tries to kill her, but she breaks his nose. Dumb accidentally hits Dumber with an arrow in the head. Dumber declares his love for Haruka and tries to kill Dumb, but Dumb kills him first, and Haruka finishes the job. Haruka's grandpa tries to get her to talk to him, but she won't talk. Mitsuru visits Haruka, and they go for a walk. Haruka breaks down, and Mitsuru promises to protect her. She thanks him, and they kiss. Grandpa tells Haruka that he intends to go back to Tokyo with them, but she is hesitant. Mitsuru tells his grandma that he'll move to Tokyo after graduation for Haruka. Rumi discovers the dead bodies in the pit and tries to warn Teiko, but she doesn't answer. We get a flashback of Rumi saying that she can burn Haruka to death and make it look like an accident. The other bullies join her in helping her burn Haruka's house down, except Teiko, who finds it boring. In the present, Teiko eventually answers her phone, but she ignores Rumi's pleas and tells her to go to hell. Angry, Rumi rips all her drawings of Teiko. Teiko bites her hand out of guilt and goes to Haruka's house, but she doesn't find anyone there and starts walking home. Haruka gets off the bus, and Teiko walks towards her, and they go to sit on a bench and talk. Teiko returns her CD and finally reveals the truth behind the bullying. Before Mitsuru entered the picture, she and Haruka had actually been close friends. Taeko became jealous when Haruka started spending all her time with Mitsuru instead of her. Her jealousy slowly turned into bullying, and the other students escalated the abuse far beyond anything she intended. Horrified by what happened to Haruka's family, Taeko sincerely apologizes. Haruka sees her remorse and forgives her, allowing them to reconcile. Meanwhile, Rumi, terrified that Haruka is killing everyone involved, attacks Taeko and leaves her to die in the snow before hunting Haruka down herself. Mitsuru calls and tells Haruka that he wants to go to Tokyo with her and live together. She turns him down and tells him to go to the school he had originally wanted to go to. He thinks that Haruka is rejecting him and choosing her family. He reveals that he killed his father because he abused his mother, but when his father was gone, his mother needed someone to beat her, so he finished her too. He also beat up his grandma. He plans to talk to Haruka's grandpa the next day. The parents harass the homeroom teacher over their children's disappearances, but she just ends up throwing up and getting hit by a truck. Rumi holds Shoko hostage, but she gets distracted, allowing Haruka to strangle her. Shoko moves, and Haruka lets Rumi go. Mitsuru visits her, but they're interrupted by a nurse who tells Haruka that her grandpa was beaten up. Suspicious, Haruka catches up to Mitsuru and tries to see his ends. He gaslights her and tries to tell her that he was just trying to convince her grandpa for their sake. She walks away from him, but they're interrupted by Rumi, who proudly admits to burning the house and taunts Haruka about her family's deaths. A violent fight breaks out, and Mitsuru protects Haruka. He beats Rumi. However, while hitting Rumi, Mitsuru accidentally spills photographs from his bag. Haruka discovers that instead of immediately helping rescue her family during the fire, Mitsuru stopped to take photographs of the horrifying scene. When Haruka tries to stab him, Mitsuru brutally attacks her. While he was trying to take a picture of her, Haruka finds a crossbow left behind from an earlier fight and fatally shoots Mitsuru. Gravely wounded from her injuries, Haruka stumbles through the snow. Having taken revenge on nearly everyone responsible, she finally collapses and dies alone. Months later, the school holds its graduation ceremony. Taeko quietly reflects on everything that happened and remembers the friend she once had. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.